Be me, a 28-year-old guy working at MidCorp Solutions in Columbus, Ohio. Decent mid-sized logistics and supply chain company, been around since the 90s. I'm in IT keeping the servers running and fixing Karen's printer for the 47th time. Life is pretty chill, company has good culture, older dudes teach me stuff. Then she arrives. Emily Chen, the new HR director, has a fresh MBA, and her LinkedIn profile is 90% buzzwords. First all-hands meeting, she literally says, "I'm here to disrupt outdated paradigms." Oh no. The older guys in management exchange glances. Dave from operations, been here 25 years, whispers, "Here we go." I'm just trying to keep my head down and collect my paycheck. First week, she schedules culture audit interviews with everyone. My turn comes. Walk into conference room, she's got a tablet, designer glasses, power blazer. "So, Anon, how do you feel about workplace inclusivity?" Good? "And have you witnessed any problematic behaviors from senior staff?" "They've been nothing but helpful, ma'am." She writes something down with this little satisfied smile. Interview ends. I leave feeling like I just talked to a cop. Weird vibes, but whatever. 2 weeks later, the first email drops. Subject: Organizational Restructuring Initiative. After careful analysis, we've identified several positions that no longer align with our forward-thinking values. 4 senior managers, all men in their 50s to 60s, are being transitioned out. These guys literally built half the company's processes. Dave from operations, who everyone loves, gone. Jim from sales, who lands the biggest accounts, gone. Robert from logistics, the guy who mentored me when I started, gone. Tom from finance, who everyone called the calculator, gone. Entire office is in shock. Emily sends another email about making space for diverse perspectives. She hires 4 replacements within a month. All her former classmates from business school. All are in their mid-20s to early 30s. All obsessed with synergy and disruption. None of them have experience in our actual industry. This is fine.jpg. 3 months in, things start getting weird. New sales director. Ashley keeps losing accounts because she doesn't understand client relationships. Tries to modernize our pitch decks with so many buzzwords, clients literally ask what we actually do. One client of 15 years switches to a competitor. New operations manager, Jordan, implements a flat hierarchy system. Now nobody knows who approves what. Shipments start getting delayed. Warehouse guys are pulling their hair out. New finance guy, Marcus, decides we need agile accounting. Nobody knows what that means, including him. Starts missing payment deadlines to vendors. I'm in IT watching this train wreck in real time. Servers are fine, company is not. Emily is in her office doing photo shoots for LinkedIn. Disrupting corporate culture, our women in leadership, as change agent. Posts have about 47 likes, mostly from bots. Meanwhile, I'm getting panicked Slack messages. "Anon, why isn't the inventory system working?" "Because the new ops manager changed all the protocols without documentation, Jennifer." "Anon, can you recover these deleted files?" "Sure, why were they deleted?" Marcus said they were legacy thinking. They were the client contracts. Oh God, .exe. 4 months in, the actual CEO, Mr. Harrison, starts looking stressed. He's been hands-off, but even he can see the metrics. Revenue is down 23%. 3 more long-term clients have left. Employee satisfaction survey results leak. 68% of remaining staff are looking for new jobs. I've already updated my resume, just being realistic. Emily calls an emergency all hands. I know there have been some growing pains. Growing pains. Lady, we're hemorrhaging money. But change is never comfortable, she puts up a slide. The old way versus the new way. Old way, hierarchy, experience-based, slow. New way, collaborative, innovation-focused, agile. Someone from accounting raises their hand. Emily, we missed payroll by 2 days last month. That's because we're transitioning to a more dynamic payment structure. We're not, though. We're just disorganized. Meeting ends, everyone leaves confused and anxious. That night, group chat with work friends explodes. Guys, I got a job offer in Cleveland. I'm out. My wife is making me look for something stable. I heard Harrison is in emergency board meetings. Check LinkedIn before bed. Emily posted about the meeting. Proud to be leading transformational change. Not everyone can handle innovation, #leadership and transformation. Comments are all her B-school friends cheerleading. Zero self-awareness. Absolutely zero. Month 5. The exodus begins. 8 people quit in 2 weeks. Good people, competent people. The warehouse supervisor who had been here for 18 years. 2 of our best account managers. The woman who actually knew how our proprietary logistics software worked. Emily's response? Hire more of her network. Brings in a chief culture officer. His job is literally to make people do trust falls and icebreakers. We're a logistics company. We move boxes. Why are we doing improv exercises? Yes, and you're way out of bankruptcy, Emily. I'm actively interviewing now, 3 rounds deep with a company in Cincinnati. Not even sad about it anymore, just documenting the collapse. The new people keep asking me to fix problems created by other new people. It's like watching someone juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. Except the chainsaws are on fire, and the tightrope is also on fire. And we're all on fire. Month 6 approaches. Mr. Harrison looks like he's aged 10 years. Board meeting happens. It goes long. Very long. Next morning, emergency all hands at 8 a.m. Everyone's in the main conference room. Harrison walks in without Emily. He looks tired. I'm going to be direct. The last 6 months have been catastrophic for this company. Pulls up numbers. Revenue is down 34%. We lost 40% of our client base. 25 employees are gone. Most of them quit. Operating costs up because new management can't control spending. The board has decided to make immediate changes. Emily walks in late, Starbucks in hand. Sorry, traffic was... Ms. Chen, you're terminated effective immediately. The room goes silent. Like you could hear a pin drop in the parking lot. Emily's face goes through 5 stages of grief in 10 seconds. Excuse me? Your employment is terminated. Security will escort you out. You'll receive your severance package in accordance with your contract. This is discrimination. I was hired to modernize. You were hired to improve HR operations, and instead you dismantled a functional organization. I'll sue. This is retaliation for challenging the patriarchy. Your contract is at will. You have 30 minutes to collect your personal belongings. Emily looks around the room for support. Nobody makes eye contact. The people she hired look terrified. The people who survived her purge look vindicated. I'm trying not to smile. It's inappropriate. But internally, Kermit sipping tea.gif. Security walks her out. She's on her phone, probably calling her lawyer. Harrison continues. We're conducting immediate damage control. I've reached out to Dave, Jim, and Robert. 2 have agreed to return as consultants. Quiet applause breaks out. We need to rebuild what was broken. It will take time, but this company survived the 2008 recession, and it will survive this. Meeting ends. I walk back to my desk, check LinkedIn an hour later. Emily's profile has been updated. Former HR director at MidCorp Solutions. Led comprehensive organizational transformation initiative. No mention of being fired. No mention of the company nearly collapsing. New post. Sometimes visionaries are ahead of their time. Grateful for the learning experience. On to the next chapter. Resilience # leadership. 32 likes from her echo chamber. Comments are all supportive. Their loss. You're amazing. They didn't deserve you. Nobody knows the real story. I comment. Immediately delete it. Not worth it. 2 weeks after Emily's termination. Company is in triage mode. Harrison brought back Dave and Robert as consultants. Jim from sales declined, already happy at his new company. Can't blame him. They are making $200 an hour to fix the mess. Honestly, they deserve more. Dave walks into the office first day back. Standing ovation from the warehouse crew. I missed you idiots, he says, grinning. Actually wholesome. Robert sets up in a conference room, starts going through operations documentation. Who changed the vendor approval process? That was Jordan, the guy Emily hired. Where's the documentation for the new process? There isn't any. Robert just stares at his laptop. 6 months. 6 months and nobody wrote anything down. He looks so tired. First week of reconstruction is chaos. Dave and Robert are basically doing archaeology, trying to piece together what worked before Emily nuked it. Emily's hires are panicking. Ashley from sales is first to go. Position eliminated due to restructuring. She posts on LinkedIn about toxic work environments that fear change. Girl, you lost us 40% of our clients. Jordan from operations gets moved to a junior analyst role. Demotion, but he keeps his job. Honestly, more than he deserves. Takes it quietly, probably knows he's lucky. Marcus from finance gets fired. Showed up drunk to a meeting with the auditors. Apparently he'd been stress drinking for 2 months. The agile accounting was just him being disorganized and panicking. Sad, but also dude. Chief Culture Officer is let go. His last contribution was a team-building escape room that cost $3,000. We're a logistics company. We needed that money for actual operations. He posts a 2,000-word LinkedIn manifesto about corporate America. Nobody reads it. I'm still here, staying neutral, fixing servers. Got offered the Cincinnati job, but they lowballed me. Harrison personally asked me to stay. Gave me a 15% raise and a retention bonus. Also apologized for the recent instability. Okay, I'll stay. Week 3, the client recovery mission begins. Dave starts personally calling the clients who left. Man is a magician. Hey, Tom, it's Dave. Yeah, I'm back. I know. The new management didn't work out. Can we talk? Gets 3 clients back in 2 weeks. One of them literally says, I only left because you weren't there. That's relationship building, Ashley. Take notes. Oh, wait, you're gone. Robert rebuilds the operations manual from scratch, works 12-hour days, finds backed up files from before Emily's transformation, restores old protocols that actually worked. Warehouse efficiency goes up 30% in a month. The remaining warehouse guys almost cry with relief. Finally, someone who understands how this works. Month 2 of recovery. Harrison hires a new sales director. Linda, in her 40s with 15 years of industry experience, doesn't mention disruption once in her interview. Just talks about clients and relationships. Gets hired immediately. She's competent, respectful, asks questions. Revolutionary concept, apparently. New operations manager hired. Paul, ex-military logistics, managed supply chains in actual war zones. Sir, with respect, your inventory system is functional but inefficient. Presents a detailed improvement plan, with documentation, with timelines, with measurable metrics. Robert nearly hugs him, new finance director brought in. Older woman, former CFO of a regional company. Her first email, I've reviewed our books. We're stabilizing, but it's going to be tight. Here's my 90-day plan. Actual plan. With numbers, with realistic projections, revolutionary. The difference is staggering. These people ask questions, listen to answers, make informed decisions. They're not trying to reinvent wheels. They're just trying to make the wheels turn efficiently. Month 3, I'm in the break room. Overhear Linda on a call. Yes, Mr. Patterson, I understand your concerns. What if I personally visit your facility next week? No pitch, just listening. I want to understand what you need from us. She's rebuilding trust one conversation at a time. This is what sales looks like, not buzzwords and synergy. Actual human relationships. Meanwhile, Emily is posting on LinkedIn every other day. 5 signs your company isn't ready for change. Why visionary leaders threaten mediocrity. The real reason I left my last role. Thread. The thread is 15 posts long, all about how she was undermined by entrenched interests. 0 accountability, 0 self-reflection. The comments are divided. Her friends, you're so brave. They didn't deserve you. Random industry people, maybe, hear me out. You weren't good at your job. She blocks the critics. Month 4 of recovery. We're cash flow positive for the first time since Emily's purge. Small victory, but huge emotionally. Harrison sends a company-wide email. Team, we're not out of the woods yet, but we're on the right path. Thank you for your patience and perseverance. Actually acknowledges the pain. Actually takes responsibility for the hiring mistake. People respect that. Morale is slowly improving. The survivors have bonded through trauma. We're like war veterans now. Remember when we had to do trust falls while the company burned? Remember when Ashley told the Johnson account we were pivoting to a solutions-based paradigm? Remember when Marcus lost the Q2 tax documents? We laugh, but it's still painful. Break room conversations are different now. People talk about their backup plans. If this place ever gets unstable again, I'm out immediately. Yeah, no more loyalty. We learned that lesson. The trust Emily broke didn't just hurt the company, it changed how people view work. They're more cautious now, more cynical, harder to rebuild than she could ever understand. One day I'm updating the server logs. Find old emails from before the purge. Dave welcoming a new hire, patient and thorough. Jim sharing a sales win with the team, crediting everyone who helped. Robert training someone on the logistics software, step by step. Tom from finance helping someone understand their benefits. These weren't old boys club emails. These were competent professionals doing their jobs, helping each other, building something. Emily saw hierarchy and assumed toxicity. She saw experience and assumed stagnation. She saw older men and assumed problematic behavior. But she never looked at actual performance, never measured actual culture, just projected her assumptions onto reality, and nearly destroyed everything. Month 5. Something interesting happens. Harrison is interviewed for an industry podcast. Lessons in crisis management. He's asked about the restructuring incident. The host is diplomatic, but everyone knows what happened. We made a hiring mistake, Harrison says. We brought in someone who had impressive credentials but no practical wisdom. We confused innovation with destruction. Real change requires understanding what you're changing and why. We didn't lose our way because we were old-fashioned. We lost our way because we stopped valuing what actually worked. The podcast goes semi-viral in logistics circles, becomes a case study in business schools. The MidCorp incident. When DEI initiatives backfire, Emily responds with her own Medium article, How I Became a Scapegoat for Male Fragility, claims she was fired for challenging the patriarchy, conveniently omits the financial collapse, conveniently omits the mass exodus, conveniently omits firing 4 competent managers for no reason, just paints herself as a victim. Some people believe her. Most people who know the industry see through it. Comment section is brutal. I worked there. This is fiction. You nearly bankrupted us. Former client here. We left because your sales team was incompetent. The old boys you fired were my mentors. They taught me everything. Emily stops responding to comments, then disables them entirely. Month 6 of recovery. Company is stable. Not thriving yet, but stable. Revenues are recovering slowly. Most of the departed clients aren't coming back, but we're retaining current ones and getting some new ones. The new leadership team is functional. They meet weekly, communicate clearly, document decisions. It's almost boring how well it works. The warehouse supervisor who quit comes back. Heard Dave was back, heard things were better. Is there still a place for me? Harrison rehires him on the spot. Not all stories end badly. 8 months after Emily's firing, I'm sitting in my apartment, scrolling through LinkedIn before bed. Bad habit, but here we are. See a notification. Emily has posted something and tagged MidCorp. Oh, this should be good. Click it. It's a long post, the kind that says, I've been reflecting. Oh no, she's having a moment. Start reading. 8 months ago, I left a role where I tried to bring necessary change to an organization resistant to progress. Left, East got fired, but okay. I've spent this time in reflection and growth. Translation, couldn't find another job. I've realized that true leadership isn't about forcing change. It's about bringing people along on the journey. Oh my God, is she actually learning something? Keep reading. I may have moved too quickly. I may have undervalued institutional knowledge. May have. But my intentions were always to create a better workplace. The road to hell, Emily. The road to hell. She's getting close to actual accountability, but can't quite get there. Ends with, looking forward to my next opportunity to make a positive impact. Comments are surprisingly supportive. Guess people like redemption arcs. Even half-assed ones. I don't comment. Not my circus anymore. Next morning at work. Dave is training 2 new hires in the conference room. Walks them through client relationship protocols step by step. Takes questions patiently. There are no stupid questions, guys. Ask me anything. One of the new hires is a young woman, in her mid-20s. She's taking notes, asking good questions. Dave treats her exactly like the other hire, with respect and patience. This is what actual mentorship looks like. This is what Emily missed. She saw older men in power and assumed the worst. Never considered they might actually be good at their jobs. Never considered experience has value. Later that day, Linda from sales has a win, closed a major account, six-figure deal, sends an email thanking everyone who contributed, names specific people in ops, IT, finance. Couldn't have done this without the team. This is what good leadership looks like: sharing credit, building relationships, not taking selfies for LinkedIn. Month 9, Harrison calls an all hands. Everyone's nervous. Last few all hands have been traumatic. Relax, he says, seeing our faces. This is good news. We're officially profitable again. Not just cash flow positive, actually profitable. Cautious applause. We're not where we were 18 months ago, he continues, but we're stable. We're growing sustainably, and we're doing it right. I want to acknowledge everyone who stayed during the difficult period. I want to acknowledge Dave and Robert for coming back. And I want to acknowledge that I made mistakes in leadership. Wait, what? I got dazzled by credentials and forgot to value character and competence. I let someone dismantle what you all built because it sounded innovative. That's on me, and I'm sorry. Actual accountability from the CEO. Some people are tearing up. It's been a rough year. Moving forward, we're going to prioritize differently. Experience matters. Institutional knowledge matters. Stability matters. Innovation is good, but not at the expense of everything else. We're going to grow carefully, hire thoughtfully, and value the people who do the actual work. Meeting ends. With applause. Real applause this time, not polite corporate clapping. Back at my desk, feeling weirdly emotional. Coworker leans over. Hey, you staying? Yeah, I say. Yeah, I think I am. Good. We need people who remember. Remember what? What happens when you forget why things work? Damn, that's actually profound. Month 10, Emily gets a new job. Posts about it on LinkedIn, of course. Thrilled to announce I'm joining Startup Name as head of people and culture. It's a crypto startup, 25 employees, all under 30, venture capital funded. Oh, Emily, you're going to a place with no institutional knowledge to disrupt, because there's no institution yet. This will either go great or collapse in 6 months. Placing bets on 6 months? Dave sees the post, sends it in the group chat. Should we warn them? Nah, let them learn. Some lessons you gotta live through. We're terrible people, but also we're right. Month 11, I'm having coffee with Robert. He's winding down his consulting. Company is stable enough. You gonna miss it? I ask. Parts of it, he says. But honestly, I'm tired. What Emily did, it wasn't just bad business. It was disrespectful. We gave decades to this place. And she walked in and decided we were the problem without ever asking what we actually did. He's quiet for a moment. I've trained probably 50 people over the years. Half of them were women. Several are in senior positions now. But Emily saw a 60-year-old white guy and made assumptions. That's what hurts, not being fired. Being dismissed without ever being seen. I don't know what to say to that. But, hey, he continues, at least the company survived. That's more than I expected 6 months in. We toast, our coffee cups, to survival, to competence, to boring functional management. 1 year after Emily's firing, I'm still at MidCorp, got promoted to senior IT analyst. Company is doing well, hired 15 new people, carefully vetted, mix of ages, backgrounds, experience levels, all competent, all willing to learn. No one talks about disruption. Dave retired for real this time. We threw him a huge party. He gave a speech. I've worked with hundreds of people in my career. The best ones were the ones who asked questions and listened to answers. The worst ones were the ones who thought that they already knew everything. Stay curious, stay humble, and remember, experience isn't the enemy of innovation. It's the foundation. Everyone clapped. I clapped. Even got a little misty. Check Emily's LinkedIn one last time. Morbid curiosity. The crypto startup imploded. She lasted 4 months. Her profile now says fractional HR consultant, which means unemployed but available. Recent post, the consulting life gives me freedom to choose projects aligned with my values. Translation, no one will hire me full-time. She's selling an online course now. Disruptive leadership in conservative industries, $497. Has 3 reviews, all 1 star. This ruined my career. Complete nonsense, no practical advice. Just buzzwords and blame shifting. I close LinkedIn. Some people learn, some people don't. Emily is a cautionary tale now. The HR director who thought credentials were competence, who thought ideology was strategy, who thought tearing down was the same as building up. She took a functioning company and nearly killed it because she confused her assumptions with reality. The thing is, she probably still thinks she was right, probably still thinks we were the problem, probably still believes she was ahead of her time. That's the scariest part. Zero self-awareness, zero accountability, just endless justification. 2 years later, I'm still at MidCorp. We're thriving now. Exceeded pre-crisis revenue, healthy culture, low turnover. People actually like working here. Linda is now VP of Sales, crushing it. Paul streamlined operations so well, we won an Industry Efficiency Award. The new finance director has us on track for expansion. Harrison is talking about opening a second location. Carefully, sustainably, with people who know what they're doing. I'm training 2 junior IT guys now, teaching them everything the old guys taught me. Patience, thoroughness, documentation. They ask good questions. I give thorough answers. This is how knowledge transfers. This is how organizations survive. Not through disruption, through teaching. One of the junior guys asks me one day, "Hey, Anon, is it true the company almost went bankrupt a few years ago?" "Yeah," I say. "What happened?" I think about how to answer. We hired someone who confused change with improvement. Someone who thought new was automatically better than functional. Someone who valued ideology over competence. And it nearly destroyed us. But we learned, and we rebuilt. So now we hire carefully. We value experience. We promote based on results, not rhetoric. Boring, right? He laughs. Boring sounds good, actually. Boring is good, I agree. Boring means stable paychecks and functioning systems. Exciting usually means someone's panic-fixing something that wasn't broken. He nods, gets back to work. I check LinkedIn one final time. Emily's profile is unchanged. Still consulting, still posting about leadership, still has learned nothing. Her most recent post: "Why traditional businesses fear innovation?" Thread. I don't click it. I already know the answer, Emily. They don't fear innovation. They fear incompetence dressed up as innovation. They fear people who mistake destruction for progress. They fear ideologues who can't tell the difference between a problem and a solution. I close my laptop, walk to the break room. Dave's retirement photo is on the wall. So is Jim's, and Robert's, and Tom's. MidCorp legends, someone labeled it. New hires ask about them sometimes. We tell the stories, carefully, accurately, the good they did, the knowledge they built, the company they created. And yeah, we mention what happened when they were pushed out. Not to be bitter, but so it never happens again. Some lessons have to be preserved. Some mistakes are too expensive to repeat. The end. T. Elder, HR director, gets hired, fires all the experienced staff because they're old boys club, replaces them with inexperienced friends. Company nearly collapses. She gets fired, blames everyone else, learns nothing. Company slowly rebuilds with competent people who actually know what they're doing. Morale of the story: experience isn't the enemy of progress. Arrogance is. Also, maybe don't dismantle functional systems because they don't match your ideology. Just a thought. Anyway, my company survived. I kept my job, learned what good management actually looks like, and I never have to do another trust fall exercise. Life is good. Thanks for coming to my green text.